welcome to our Nightmare Narrowboat. I'm Chris, that's Bex, and this is the bloody Nightmare, the Whistling Wombat. But maybe some would say I'm the Nightmare because Bex does all the work. Anyway, yes, Bex has been working towards getting us hot water after 3 years of cold water. This is our hot water tank, the calorifier, and we need it to feed down to the bathroom and the kitchen. And in this episode, Bex is going to try and complete the entire new plumbing network of the narrowboat. So it's going to feed through here into the bathroom for hot showers. It has to lead under the bed here. I mean, good God, what the hell are we still doing with all this ballast? And that will finally lead to the kitchen so we can have hot water here in the sink too, finally. Good God! I have once again been told to stay out the way, and guess what? I'm working on my Titan boat canopies. So as great as the quality is on these Titan boat canopies, a lot of people don't fully know how to care for them, so I've got special instructions from Steve, and I've got his secret ingredients on how to take care of them properly. A new day, and Bex is after an olive. Strange little character, isn't she?
So apparently copper olives are really hard to come by around our way. There is none in stock anywhere. So I'm driving out a bit further afield to Travis Perkins to pick up my olives. And I don't mean the Greek variety.
Woohoo, here we go. I love going to new, building places and DIY sort of supply places. It's awesome. Such a geek. Yay! Got them. Let the plumbing recommence. Come on, boiler. Can't wait to get you fired up.
So let's take you guys all into the bedroom of the Whistling Wombat.
So I can't quite remember where I left off with you guys last time, but here I am again, sitting on my pile of rubble under the bed with my plumber's hat on. Not literally, as you can see, but ready to crack on with the next stage. I think, if I remember rightly, I just brought the cold water pipe from the bathroom in through to under the bed. However, with great difficulty, because there was a shelf kind of bit in the way, so I was essentially doing things blind. So in the meantime, whilst I've been away, I've ended up moving everything again, which is the story of my life whilst trying to work on this narrowboat, just so that I can get better access. So I'll show you what I mean.
So here we are now, it's all open and free for me to get to, but I have come across another problem. The pipe is kind of being a bit stressed here where it's coming through, if you can just about make out that hole there. So what I'm going to do is cut this further down so it sits a bit more in line, and then that way when I run it across the wall to where it's going to disappear into here, it will be a bit more in line as well. So that's my next step. Right, I better get the multi-tool. One of them. God, this thing's out of control! I have to say, this has to be one of the best tools that you can own being on a boat, or quite honestly, probably a house as well. It is so useful. It comes in handy on so many occasions when you're kind of thinking, how am I going to do that? Multi-tool to the rescue. Woo! So now you can see it comes through and it can sit a bit lower down and connect into there. If you can see that, it's really hard to hold and film. So I'm just going to put a pipe clip here to kind of encourage it a bit more into place, because the pipe's still got a good old bend in it. So now that I've done the cold water pipe, I'm going to do exactly the same with the hot water pipe. But I'm going to do that off camera for ease. So I'll see you back here in a minute.
Roughly 4 weeks in, guys, it's time for our lovely Titan canopy covers to have their deep cleanse. Lots of grubbiness has started to build up all along here, mainly all spider related. Spiders love these things. It's really grubby now, and we're not even inside. Seem to harvest their young on the insides too of these things. Probably nice and warm in there for them. Not on my watch. Ugh, they love all these little bits up here normally. All the little seams that plant their little eggs. Don't look as bad, actually, as I first thought. We'll come back to this. Love these little areas. God knows why, because I wouldn't live in there, would you? A little seam of a canopy cover. Saying that, they are Titan canopy covers, so why not, eh? All eggs ready to hatch. The hatching procedure. Does not take long for this sort of stuff to get grubby when it's outside. Excess pigeon poo. So I will let you into the secrets of boat canopy cleanliness just in a moment. But for now, yeah, Bex is still messing around in the bedroom.
Okay, hot and cold, done. So the next stage is to run from here, elbow it up to this little hole here. This is all going to be removed, and that will take me through to the bathroom taps. Awesome. So as you can see, I've actually ended up moving these just a little bit further back, because once I attached these parts here, I could see that the pipes were sticking out really far, and I just thought, you know what, that's just going to make them more vulnerable to getting caught and snagged on things. So I've moved them in a little bit so that they run a bit closer to this wall, and then the elbows, as you can see, will just take the pipe work through to the bathroom. The reason I didn't do this in the first place is because of these wires being in quite an awkward place. I didn't think I'd be able to squeeze my fittings in, but actually it's all good, and it just makes much better use of the space. So for the moment, I've decided to leave attaching the pipes for the bathroom tap through that wall, simply because until I get the corner cabinet in place, I can't quite work out how high the tap's going to be, and so I don't want to go and cut the pipe completely the wrong length, either too short or far too long, and end up wasting a load. So I'm going to leave that section for now and just carry on down to the kitchen. Easier said than done when you've got this to traverse through.
So is everyone ready for Steve from Titan Boat Canopy's secret hack on narrowboat cleanliness? Yep, I want to know if he was all talk or if he boasted a mean canopy cover cleanse. So like Steve said, at Titan Boat Canopies, one of the best ways of cleaning these windows is just your generic blue vinegar spray. You just go over the windows with that, and supposedly it's sort of the best sort of thing for it. Next up, the special recipe. So this in here is white vinegar, and this with a little bit of water is supposedly meant to be the best thing for these covers, and you just gently rub it in, rub off any sort of excess grubbery. So let's see how we go. I mean, these things are just riddled with spiders at the moment. So a splash of Marina water, if you remember me teaching you that this is the freshest in the whole of Hertfordshire, and then add the white vinegar. I'm not sure how much you're meant to put in. Like that, do you reckon? I suppose it's very good for stopping any sort of mould getting into the canopies, so here goes.
So I've pulled out one of the pipes, but I've left this one in here because I'm hoping it'll act like a bit of a guide when I feed my new pipe through here, because it goes behind the wall and then it exits there. So this could be interesting. So I've taken this one out. I'm just going to continue removing it for the length of the way up to the kitchen. So into the cupboard we go. Oh, still got a bit of residual water in there. Released! Now, in all reality, that was probably the easier bit, because now I've got to try and feed the new pipe through that wacky bit in the wall. So pray for me. There might be a few swears floating around.
Reminds me of the sea. Don't want to go too hard, because you don't want to take off the special sealant that it's got to stop the rain going through. And I believe next week we're going to head up to Titan, and they're going to sort that little bit out for us up there, so we'll go and say hi to them all up there again. Don't want to rub too hard, do you? Bloody ruin the whole bloody thing. Ruin cover number 2. A little bit of excess nest on there that I'm just getting rid of. So back to the girl and her olive.
So I've got my copper olives out again. Just to reiterate, if you're attaching compression fittings to this plastic barrier pipe, it's fundamental that you use copper olives, because I think basically it's because the copper is softer, and so there is no risk of damaging the pipe, she says as she forces it on. There is no risk to it sort of damaging the pipe and, you know, potentially causing leaks and stuff like that, because brass olives are quite a lot harder. Whichever speed fit barrier pipe you're using, they all say that you should make sure to use copper olives and not brass ones. So just a little tip for anyone out there who's planning on doing some plumbing. So yeah, there we go. So I've got my pipe and I'm going to have a go at feeding this through the wall the traditional way. And when, as I suspect, that goes wrong, I might have to come up with some sort of canny solution to try and do it, because it's essentially kind of doing it blind and hoping that you're going to come out the hole at the other side. Anyway, so yeah, let's have a go, see what happens. In she goes. Honestly, I cannot tell you how difficult it is working in this kind of situation. My God, like, I've just had like my ass pinched, either that or sat on a rusty nail, and I've just got such little room to work with. It's so hard. Anyway, less of the moaning, more of the proactive. Let's get this done. So I'm sort of using the old grey pipe as leverage to hopefully keep this new white pipe in place. So if I keep on pushing, with any luck, when it comes out the other side, it'll just be on top of that other lovely grey pipe. Perfect. So first attempt, as expected, did not go well. So I've pulled it out and I'm starting again, but this time I've upped my game and I've put a marker on the pipe to let me know what is the sort of approximate length, so that I know that if I've pushed in past that point, it's a no-goer. Pull it out, start again. Yes! We are through! Woo! So now I've just got to twizzle him round and get him through that little hole there. All whilst balanced on this. Basically, because I have to do this twice, I think it's easier to use a pipe to rest your bit of pipe on rather than under, if that makes sense. So I'm going to take the grey one out of the way and then use the white one as my guide. Okay, so she's through. I just have to take her from there to there. So she is through. So I'm actually just going to leave the pipe like that. I don't actually want to connect it up to the cold water line just yet. I'm just going to leave the circuit on, which is literally just that the water is supplying the kitchen tap for the moment, because I don't want to fill the calorifier and everything just yet until all the other bits and bobs are kind of all connected and sorted out. But the main thing is that is the end of the line for the cold water pipe, and now I just have to do the same for the hot water.
Right, we'll head up onto the pram covers. That's the front done. Then we'll show you at the end. It's looking all lovely and beautiful. We'll show you in one big hit how good Chrissy Crobot's been. Here it comes with a special little bowl. That's the poo. That's the problem. And it always is on narrow boats, isn't it? Always problems with poo. Running out of money here on this project. If anyone wants to employ me as a full-time crutch cover cleaner, problem is I only do your boat if you haven't got spiders. I won't operate around spiderous beings, so that's in the clause. God, look, there's one now. Oh my God. I don't want to steal his little home here, so I'm not gonna go too into the scene. There he goes, he wants to go back into his little home, don't he? So, okay, we'll just get rid of the poo. We won't get rid of their homes for now. I haven't even got my gloves on either, have I? Is it alive?
So I'm just going to give this a snippety whippety, plug it into my push fit, and then do the same process for the hot water line. So anyone up for round 2 of invisible plumbing? Peekaboo!
Okay, so we've finished cleaning the covers. Now onto the windows. My special blue spray, again doused in vinegar. So I'm just going to give it a little spray. Head to the pram cover, the back one. God, am I running on empties here, like week after week? I haven't done any DIY for ages, have I? as good as new, guys, after 2 weeks of owning them.
I cannot tell you how insanely difficult that was. Honestly, I am sweating. My body is just about dead. It has been like a contortionist's nightmare, quite honestly. But it's through. We have victory after all of that. It is through. Thank God for that. So I'm just missing a few fittings, so I can't quite fully finish it off at the moment, but those last little bits will take minutes to do, so I'm happy with today's progress.